the dailies, and I'm trying to look for something on Children's Day on the front pages. It's really tough, right? Because there are lots of stories around politics, this one, that one. So, you know what? Let's just, if you can't beat them, right, you join them. Let's start with the Vanguard newspaper and see how the Vanguard leads today, which is also Children's Day, May the 27th. And you see, leads with the sealing of a Secretariat of the People's Democratic Party. PDP fumes as Tinubu intervenes. You see, it's brazen abuse of power. That's from the PDP. May go ahead with BOT NEC meetings. Question is where? PDP, 4,793 others given 14 days grace. So that, I guess, they will be using, or at least the venue will be available to them. And you see Wike's aide saying it's not political witch hunt. PDP group to Wike, you are the real betrayer, as Makinde Mba keep mum on FCT minister. You know what? There's a lot to unpack on the front pages, and we'll not be doing this alone. We're joined on the program right here in our Lagos studio by Mr. Denny Ifetayo, who is a public affairs analyst. Mr. Ifetayo, happy Children's Day to you.
Yeah, same here. We're all children of God.
Somehow, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know, I try to look at the front pages, trying to, you know, get something about the children. But I guess we'll make do with this politics because it concerns our children.
Yeah, of course.
One way or the other. I mean, what do you make of this sealing by the FCT administration? Almost like it was on an onslaught yesterday.
Yeah.
Private, public, political, everybody, even the FIRS.
You know, the thing is that they said it that must come to equity must come with a clean hand. And if we said we should perform our civil basic responsibility, this is one of them. And I'm sure the best way for 16 years, what are they doing? And grand rent, I'm sure some of Nigerian or the common man, they are even more civil in their behavior, in their responsibility than some of these our political class. And also, I think it is high time one of them can take up the responsibility and say, look, if you remember, this thing has been going on for months. You have not paid your grand rent, you have paid this, you have not done that. And I think it's something that they could, they can sort out. I'm sure there was a time in this country they raised was over 15 billion to build their national headquarters. Where were the money? Those who make the donation. So those are the things, at least for once, take up the responsibility. And most of them, especially the governors, that they have what they call security allowance. Even one of them, they can import champagne. I'm starting to be corrected. Those are the things they can just sort out and be in a good standing rather than saying you are being witch hunt. If you don't do your civil responsibility, they can rub it up on your face. That was what happened yesterday.
So you don't see any political...
No. You know, if you give a man a chance, you know, to stand on your head, they would rather do that since the other man on this party, that's Wike, is on the other side. It's neither here nor there. So you want to unleash, you know, any loophole that you could have overlooked. Yes, of course, you might want to take it. Okay, since you are lacking behind on this, let me stand on. And thanks at least for Mr. President and say, okay, calm down, give them 14 days and all that. So it's not just only PDP alone and some other institution and private property owners. Of course, and most of them, they collect one or two dues or rent on this property. At least you should do the needful.
I must say that the point you made about some of the elites are those who are responsible for some of the infractions that you never see coming. You find in the airport, for example, it's the big cars that go past without paying.
Without paying a dime.
They don't go to the parking lot, they just park right there. They don't, and you wonder, so what exactly is going on here? So I'm glad you made that point, but that's the front page of the Vanguard newspaper.
And you know, there's so many sides to look at the story from. The FIRS, according to the FCT authority officials yesterday, owing 34 years of ground rent, and other establishments about 27 or 28 years. And I'm thinking, if the tax collector is the defaulter, so where shall we begin from?
That's what they said, the more you look, the less you see. But let's see what's unfolding.
Very well. But let's hope that it goes around to all other federal-owned establishments that are also owing ground rent. But let's take a look at this Nigeria, Mr. Ifetayo, and you know, this is not looking at FCT issues as its big story, but at insecurity. And you know, we can never talk about that. Insecurity Rise up and defend us. Zulum charges the military. And they're just one rider there. Borno governor meets with president, vows not to allow Boko Haram, ISWAP, control any local government area. And, you know, Governor Zulum has been commended time and again through his first term as governor and even this second term as governor for his boldness at tackling insecurity. He even visited Marte the other day with his convoy, and it was said that he spent the night there. And, you know, as much as you reflect on it, you can't but, you know, acknowledge the governor's efforts. But is the federal government, in your own view, backing up this, not just the Borno governor now, but other parts of the region suffering insecurity with deliberate provision of infrastructure and increased personnel to tackle the insecurity concerns in the northeast, north central, and the northwest?
Yeah, you know, you can't continue to do the same thing and expect different results. I'm sure there have been an approach they've been using all these years, and if it seems not working or you need to improve on them, I think they need to do that. It's not about being politicized or it doesn't concern us. If it's happening in your neighborhood, who knows, it might get to your, you know, your own house. I think the federal government can do more and sees a governor that is ready to protect the life of his people and life and property. I think they can increase more personnel. I think there was a time they said one of the headquarters should be relocated as the armed forces headquarters, one of their divisions should be relocated to Borno. If you have a crisis in a particular place, just go for it and nip it in the once and for all, and let Nigerians breathe, if I may use the word.
Let Nigerians breathe, right? Well, take a look at the Guardian newspaper, Mr. Fetayo, and I must say that the Guardian has something to show for Children's Day.
Finally.
Should give a round of applause to the Guardian for that. You see, Guardian, even though it's at that top left corner of the front page, you see Children's Day, tackle bullying, prioritize rights, welfare, stakeholders urge government. So we'll give you five marks for that. But the bigger story on the front page is on the opposition's internal crisis. You see, legal battles threaten 2027 election. It's a page 6 read, and it has the pictures of members and leaders of the opposition in Nigeria, from Nasir El-Rufai to Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, SDP's Tebayo, Julius Abure, even Damagoma of the PDP. So sometimes you see what's happening in the opposition and you wonder, is this a script being played? Because you'd expect that for a party that wants to wrestle power from the ruling party. I mean, there should be that seriousness that, you know, everybody get in line. This is serious business. But what you see always leaves much to be desired. Like, what is going on here?
You know, the thing is that in leadership, sometimes you win some, you lose some. And like they say, you can't have two captains in a ship. I think if they really, not just to wrestle power, they have Nigerians' interests at heart, and that's why they want to wrestle power from the present administration. I think it's high time they should make some sacrifice. Let's come together. This is what Nigerians are going through in this current administration when it comes to insecurity, education. We're talking about children right being protected and all of that. So those are the issues. So what can we do? I don't see any reason if two of them could come together. Let's put all our resources, our machineries, our facility, you know, to make sure we get this job done. And this, our agenda, this is what we want to promise Nigerians. It's not about, I want to contest for 2027, you want to contest. You know, you continue to do the same thing. Of course, they will not have a headway. So I think it's high time they also put their own house in order. I don't believe one man is the only one that can do all the jobs. No, I don't believe that. If you are putting your best, let's have another side there from other angle. And so far it's bringing progress and we are moving forward. That's how they should come together and just make some sacrifice. Not that you must, it's not a must that this one must be presidential candidate or that one must be presidential candidate. You can join forces together and bring, you can even bring a neutral person and say, Nigerian, this is what we are backing, and it's going to do A, B, C, and X, Y, Z.
You know, I was listening to a chieftain yesterday on our sister program, Lunchtime Politics, expressing very little concern about the continuing defection of legislators. And I'm wondering, you know, as the party continues to be decimated, you know, with defections, what happens to even the elections at the National Assembly level for the opposition party in 2027. But let's leave that for now and go to the next paper this morning. Take a look at Blueprint newspaper, Mr. Fetayo. Of course, we've thrashed as much as possible the challenge with the unpaid ground rent that caused a ruckus somewhat yesterday in the FCT. But at the top of the paper, at the top of the nameplate, there is another big insecurity concern. 24 hours after quick notice, herders kill over 20 in Benue communities. Now, this brings to mind the position expressed by the Defense Headquarters that foreign elements, foreign herders are fingered in the insecurity challenge of Nigeria. Now, if there's a foreign element, whether it's in the north central or it's in the northeast, and the security agents are unable to rein in on it, doesn't it say quite a lot? Is it acceptable in the security architecture and in the funding that has gone to security over the years?
No, it's not commensurate with the funding, especially I think our border is porous. If you said foreign elements, so how do you prevent foreign elements coming into your country? Is by you secure your border and another side that they could gain access. And of course, I think we should put our house in order. If you still allow others to move, you know, all about anywhere, somebody rearing a cow from Kwara to Lagos or from Maiduguri to Ibadan, you know, freely without being checkmate, what are you carrying and all of that. Of course, foreign elements, we have easier access, but I think we try to copy from abroad, in quote. There's a way they do their grazing, there's a way they feed their cow or they do whatever it is. We can copy from that. We can, you know, test run, let's pick 6 states where these things are being done. Let's see how the result, what comes out from it, then we can implement it across all board. So I think I sympathize with those people that lost their life in unfortunate incident, but I think government can do more, especially federal government. If you know the state is having security challenges, since you are the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, there's nothing wrong with moving more personnel to such states so that you can tackle that security challenge once and for all. If you're having it in a state, focus more on 3 or 4. By the time you win that, you know, move, and you can see the progress. So I think our government, they need to do more. It's not about PDP or APC this time around. Security is a concern of all.
Certainly. Mr. Deni Fetayo, Public Affairs Analyst, we have to thank you so much for your time, and it's good to have you back in studio. Thank you, and once again, Happy Children's Day.
Yeah, Happy Children's Day. All right, good to be here.
Thank you.
Again. Yeah.
Well, it's something you hear a lot today. There's a child in every one of us, right? But that's a look at the front pages this morning, all of the serious conversations. But what exactly is going on in the PDP? We've talked about it from outside, from inside. So one more time, we'll take a look at what exactly is the issue with the opposition. And more importantly, is there a way out? Stay with us. We'll be right back.